So what is the state of the DCEU right now? Hey, what's going on all my DC fans? I just wanted to put out a video of what's going on with the DCEU content right now, or not just DCEU but DC Films altogether coming out. Just a discussion of all that good stuff, and it starts right now. So very soon we have the Joker movie coming out. I've talked about this before. Everyone's talking about it. The buzz is very high. It's very exciting. Can't wait to watch it. Then after that, in February, you have Birds of Prey. Still don't know much about this film, just with the images and everything. Hopefully getting a trailer very soon. I'm hearing that, by the end of the month, so very soon we should see something. Get a feel for this movie. I'm excited for it. I wasn't before, but from what I'm seeing, I'm very excited for it. So that's coming out. Then after that, you have Wonder Woman 1984. The first one was a great film. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm looking forward to the sequel. It's another DCEU film, so it's very exciting. I can't wait for that. Now, in the pipeline, you've got Suicide Squad that's going to start filming any day now. That's awesome. Can't wait to see what happens with that. Should be a great film. James Gunn is directing it. I like what he did with Guardians, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does with this movie, with his DC content. So that's interesting. That should be great. Then you've got early 2020. You've got the Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman with Robert Pattinson, a new Batman, a new look, a new feel. That starts filming. That's great. And I'm hearing in May you're going to have Black Adam to start filming. That's awesome. The Rock is finally going to do something with the DCEU. Again, these are all connected movies, which is great. Then I'm hearing The Flash is possibly going to start filming next year. There's not a date on it yet, but again, The Flash, that's awesome. That's great news. Now I want to say something. I've been hearing a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but I've been hearing some talks about this new Birds of Prey Twitter page that started. And some people are complaining about the look of the image for the profile picture and the background. Harley Quinn with the birds and the characters flying around her head. And there's kind of been a lot of complaints about it. First off, it's a poster. It's nothing. That is not a movie. That doesn't do anything for me. Yes, there are posters that are nice to look at. There are posters that aren't nice to look at. But that doesn't matter. That's not keeping someone away from the movie. And that has nothing to do with how good this movie is. But it also goes into the people with the feel of these movies compared to what we got with A Man of Steel or BVS. Listen, when you have all these movies that are a part of the same universe, the DCEU, they need to be different. There has to be different feels. I don't want a universe where every single movie is the same. So when you got something like this that pops, when you have a movie like Aquaman or Shazam that's different than BVS and Man of Steel, and like that's awesome to me. That's good. That's what you want. And that same thing that kind of happened with the MCU is a lot of their films seemed very similar. And then you had a film like Thor Ragnarok that came out that was just completely different. And it was like, man, that was awesome. So yeah, you need to change things up sometimes, and that's what a Birds of Prey is going to do. So that's awesome. Let's not jump the gun right away and be so negative. Like, oh, this isn't in the same universe, and this doesn't deserve to be in the same. No, it does deserve to be in the same universe. Be happy that these films are all intertwining. That's what I'm looking forward to, is more characters that are a part of this universe now, which is awesome. Okay, so something I just wanted to expand on, and it's been talked about a lot, and definitely with Zack Snyder and the artistic integrity of directors and everything. I was listening to a podcast today, the Joe Rogan podcast, great podcast, and he had Rob Zombie on there. Yes, Rob Zombie, this has nothing to do, I mean, it does have something to do with the DC, but I'll explain that. So Rob Zombie, if you guys don't know who he is, he's a musician, but more recently he's been directing a lot of horror films. And in 2007, he directed a Halloween movie, and that was like a big deal to him, a big budget film. It probably wasn't that much money, but it was a big Hollywood film. And he talks about how he hated filming that so much because he was constantly getting phone calls from executives to change this, change that. They have no idea what they're talking about. These are just the guys that control the money. And it was just such a distraction to him to make this movie, because it was just like every second he was getting a phone call or someone was telling him to change this or change that. He couldn't do what he wanted to do with this movie. And that got me thinking about Zack Snyder and his Justice League movie. And especially with a movie like that, the budget was so huge. I mean, you know that they've been trying to like get into Zack's head for a while. He probably had Man of Steel was probably like mostly his film. They said, you know, Zack, do your thing. And then the critical reception wasn't too good. It was okay for that movie. And then they started, you know, dipping their hands into BVS and kind of mess with that a little bit. And then with Justice League, it was just a complete mess. And Zack gets off the project, and you know where it's come to now. So of course, hopefully we can see Zack's vision for the Snyder Cut. We can see the 214-minute cut. That's what we're all campaigning for. And to go off of that, I've heard that, according to John Campea, they're saying that he knows two people, that inside sources. One saying that WB is not talking at all about a Justice League 2. The other source is saying that they're talking about a Justice League 2 all the time. Now, come on. You're talking about the Justice League. Of course they're talking about it. They're not like, oh, let's just leave that. No. Their whole thing was to compete with Marvel. So what is your biggest gun? What's your biggest movie? Justice League. So of course they're thinking about how to make a Justice League 2, especially with what's going on right now with the Snyder Cut and everything. And if they when they release the Snyder Cut, you know, how are they going to say that Joss Whedon's cut was canon? Or are they going to say Zack Snyder's cut is canon? Or are they going to wait to see how people take his cut? I don't know. But yes, of course they're talking about Justice League 2, saying that, you know, probably not going to happen for like 4 or 5 years. That's fine. I completely agree with that. Get these other characters right. Get their origin stories, their own movies, and then bust out a number 2. That's good to hear. Of course they're talking about Justice League. It's the Justice League. Is NightWing. There was a picture that's been floating around NightWing. The back of NightWing was in a picture of on set of Titans Season 2, filming an episode. All we saw was the back. It looks good from the back. Well, obviously we're going to see him in an episode coming up. He hasn't presented himself yet, but we know that he's going to be Robin. We know that Dick Grayson is going to be Nightwing. He already burned his costume in the first season. We're all just waiting for it. They keep on playing games with it, like, you know, who are you going to be? What are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? He's going to be Nightwing. Just a matter of time until he shows up, which is going to be great. I can't wait. But it was just confirmation that, yes, we are getting a Nightwing in this show. And also, I've heard rumors as well that Kid Flash might show up in this show. That would be awesome. Or you hear about him. I mean, you hear about the Justice League all the time. Titans is a great show. If you're a DC fan, you want to watch Titans. The universe is huge. They talk about the Justice League all the time. Batman, Superman. It's a great show. And like I said, I'm looking forward to more episodes. And it's for them to include characters like Aqualad. And to actually see like Deathstroke in action and all that stuff. It's a great show. Definitely check it out. So that's all I got for you guys today. Listen, DCEU fans, good things are coming. Trust me, it's a good time. I say it all the time. It's a good time to be a DC fan. Joker coming out very, very soon. Really looking forward to that. I can't wait to give you guys my review. Please subscribe because that helps me, and in return, I can help you. Hey guys, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, new content's coming to you. Be on the lookout. And as always, thank you for watching.